Attention, gentlemen and lady, Netflix have made the biggest blunder of all time, the biggest blunder of their careers. Nearly dropped it there. Do you know what that blunder is? They've made Kakeguiri Twin, the Kakeguiri prequel, they've made it a 12. Now, for those who are unaware, Kakeguiri is a very interesting and funny Japanese anime thingy-majigabee on Netflix about two people, Ryota Suzui, best protagonist of all time in any kind of anime, and the, what's the name, the girl character going on wacky escapades in a funny gambling school and gambling their life savings again in really weird, obscure games that no one will ever play in real life and making some money. It's a very... I watched it today. Yeah, I did. I definitely did watch it today. And, I can't really decide whether I like it or dislike it. It's an interesting case. So I watched the entire series. Didn't really know what to make of it. I thought the concept was pretty good, although it did have a few issues. One of them being, why is it in a school? This is a side rant, but why is it in a school? These kids, in the prequel, the Kakeguiri Twin, they're literally drinking like sherry in like this tavern, and in the actual one, they're like the student council talking like bloody Russian mafia gangster people, and they're talking and doing things that adults do, even though they're supposed to be like 14, 15. It would have been so much easier to just put it in a casino setting. Then all their actions would have been justified and make complete sense. But no, let's put it in a school. That'll give it a unique selling point, and people will like it more. No, it just makes the actions of the students completely a bit bizarre. Now, because of the success of the first Kakeguiri, a prequel, was made called Kakeguiri Twin, and I watched the whole thing in 1 day. No, 2 days, and I rather liked it. It was way too short, but I thought it did a good job. It did a pretty good job. It was more sort of story-driven than the last one. The stories were pretty good. It expanded on the characters a bit more, introduced some new interesting ones, and it was very good. Although, Netflix made a terrible mistake, a blunder. They made it a 12. Right, listen, making the prequel, Kakeguiri Twin, a 12 is somewhat making the first one a 12. It's about gambling. Do you think 12-year-old... You can't do... It's about gambling. 12-year-olds shouldn't bloody be watching things about flipping compulsive, crazy-ass gamblers. They're gonna think, oh, I want to be like Mary. I want to gamble my life savings in some weird dice game. It's so... Why? Honestly, come on. Right. To have watched Kakeguiri Twin, you would have to have seen the first one. And the first one, let me tell you, the first one is not a 12 in the slightest. Now, of course, the biggest thing that most people dislike about Kakeguiri, and the biggest thing that brings it down, is the eroticism. The erotic imagery that is littered throughout the whole thing. Like, throughout Kakeguiri, there are many characters, the main female character, I have no idea what her name is, in particular, doing, like, sexual things and doing very sexual things in very sexual poses. It's very weird, and I didn't like it, because this is where the rant from the beginning comes in. They're supposed to be, like, 14, 15, so the fact that they're doing all this weird, questionable shit is very weird. Every time it happened between, like, the main character and the other one with the eye patch, I just went like this. Because it's very weird, and it just dragged the whole thing down, and it sort of made me dislike it. Ugh. However, in Kakeguiri Twin, the erotic imagery is definitely toned down a bit and focused more on the story, which is good. It's good. They made a good ploy there, but unfortunately there still is a little bit of sexual imagery in there, and it is weird, and I don't think 12-year-old kids should be seeing that stuff. No, sir. So, Kakeguiri Twin should not be a 12 because of this, mainly because of the shit that you have to have seen the first Kakeguiri, and the first Kakeguiri was very, very sexual. There was literally a part in it where the main female character was like doing some very questionable things with a tower. It was absolutely nuts. But not just that, even the prequel thing has some questionable imagery in it, and the themes are a bit a bit weird, but it was really, they shouldn't have made it 12. I reckon what they should have done is made it a 15. A 15 is perfectly so. You can get away with that. The first Kakeguiri, I don't know if you can get away with it being a 15 because the first one is just, it's just too much, man. But the second one, it is a bit questionable, but I reckon you could get away with it being a 15. That's exactly what they should have done. They should have made it a 15. They should not have made it a 12. Now, of course, there's going to be a rare few of you watching this video going like this.
Actually, I'm sure that Netflix know exactly what they're doing, and the rating of it being 12 is perfectly justified, and I'm sure it is perfectly appropriate for my 12-year-old boy Jenkins to enjoy and watch and enjoy.
This is the part of the video where I show you clips from Kakeguiri Twin and a few clips from Kakeguiri. You prepare yourself because it's going to get pretty bloody mad. First up, we're going to showcase some clips from Kakeguiri Twin, and then I'm going to showcase some clips from the actual Kakeguiri. It's definitely, it shouldn't be a 12, even though the imagery is toned down a bit, but it definitely shouldn't be a 12. Right, let's begin. That guy's cool. The environment is literally a casino. Why didn't they just make it a casino? Why a school, for God's sake? What? Accurate. It begins! Right, so in this bloody story arc, this whole thing where like boys and girls got to couple up with each other, and there's some like bullshit rules where you can't do this and you can't do that, and there's money involved. I really don't get it now. I didn't get it back then, but some weird shit happens, and you're about to see. Look, there's literally sherry or champagne or whatever that is. They're underaged. I feel so bad for this chap. Okay, so it's good. Right, that's all I'm going to show you, and I've changed my mind. I'm not going to show you any clips from the first Kakeguiri because it's the imagery's too much and it genuinely makes me uncomfortable. So, what you can probably gather from that, Kakeguiri Twin is definitely not intended for people who are aged 12, although the imagery has been toned down in this recent edition. It is far too sexual. Like, it's not as sexual as the first one, but it is still very sexual. Although it's not as frequent as it was, it's completely unacceptable that they made something so that is clearly flipping adult orientated, like, and they rated it at 12. I have to say, it's a very dicey decision. Right, have a nice evening, and don't gamble.